If you're planning to buy a smartphone in 2025, then I'll suggest you stick around and watch this video to the very end, because I'm about to share some useful tips that is going to guide you in finding the best and perfect device for yourself. Yeah, in 2024, I recommended over 30 phones within the price range of $100 to $300, approximately 100,000 naira to 350,000 naira in Nigeria currency. Many of you find those recommendations helpful, but today we are taking a different approach. Instead of focusing on a specific brand or model, we'll be discussing on factors to consider when buying a smartphone. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or somebody is in the market looking for a reliable smartphone, this video got you covered. So if you're interested, please give this video a thumbs up, and also let's vibe on. Hey, what's up guys, it's Charles Lord here. So if it's the first time checking us out, you're welcome. It's going to be much appreciated if you try to show some support by subscribing and also turning that notification bell on. Yeah, so there are various things you should consider when trying to buy a smartphone. So many of them. But here are the top 5 things or factors you should actually consider when trying to buy a smartphone. And the first one is the display, followed by the battery life. The third should be the performance, the fourth should be the camera, while the fifth one should be the software. Now, starting with the display, which is the first thing you should consider when trying to buy a smartphone. When it comes to the display, there are a few things you should consider, which are the display design, the resolution, and the refresh rate. So most smartphones do come with notch and punch hole design, and in the notch design, we have the dewdrop notch screen, the teardrop notch screen, and the water drop notch screen, and also we have the U-shape cutout. So if I am to suggest an option, I'm going to advise you get a smartphone that comes with a punch hole display, and here are my reason. A punch hole display smartphone gives you a full wide angle viewing experience, and it is much better and ideal for people who like playing games and viewing content on their mobile device. While a dewdrop notch screen or a teardrop notch screen or a U-shape cutout smartphone has this bigger bezel. Like when it cuts out, it's widening the phone screen and takes some space in the phone screen, making the bezel at the top more wider, right? And it makes your viewing experience not as good as a punch hole display smartphone. Back in the days when they have the Camon 15 that comes with like a camera at the top, you won't be able to see like the punch hole display or any notch display on the screen. And I think that is pretty cool, but smartphone brands don't produce smartphones like that anymore, right? So the punch hole display smartphone is pretty much cool, right? That doesn't mean like a dewdrop notch screen, because people do say that dewdrop notch screen or the notch phone display are affordable than a smartphone with a punch hole display. Yeah, you can actually get a smartphone that is affordable or a budget smartphone with a punch hole display screen in 2025 or any year you're going to watch this video. So yeah, that's my reason I'm going to recommend a smartphone with a punch hole display screen. Now, speaking of the resolution, I'm going to recommend you getting a smartphone with a 1080 pixel display or 4K. Anything lesser than that, I think it is a no for me in this 2025. My reasons are 1080 pixel display smartphone gives you high quality image while you're viewing content or while you're gaming, and it's pretty much good for video streaming or anything related to that, right? It is pretty much cool for viewing content. While a 720 pixel display smartphone, it's actually good, and yeah, most social media do compress video to 720 pixel display. So I think 720 pixel display smartphone is pretty much good for social media video consumption and anything like that. But when it comes to like gaming or it comes to like viewing content in higher resolution, 720 pixel display is not cool. So yeah, this year I'm recommending you getting a smartphone with a 1080 pixel display for you to get the best viewing experience on your display. On the refresh rate aspect, I'm going to recommend you getting a smartphone with at least 120 Hz refresh rate or 90 Hz refresh rate. And you can't tell me that budget smartphones don't come with 90 Hz refresh rate. Even most of the budget smartphones that came out last year, which is 2024, they came with 120 Hz refresh rate. And here's the best reason why you should get smartphones like that. It gives you smooth scrolling on apps and also quick response while you're doing any regular stuff on your device. So a smartphone with 90 Hz refresh rate or 120 Hz refresh rate will be the best option and any smartphone you're going to get this year. Now, battery life. Battery life is very essential when it comes to the things you should consider when trying to get a smartphone, especially if you are a heavy user. So I recommend you get a smartphone with at least 5,000 mAh battery capacity. Anything lesser than that, it's a no for me. A smartphone with 5,000 mAh battery capacity can last you a whole day on a single charge, even if you are a heavy user or a low-end user, a smartphone with 5000 mAh battery should be the best for you. Now, when it comes to the charging aspect, I'm going to recommend you getting a smartphone with at least 18 watts fast charge or 30 watts fast charger. And this is pretty much the best and okay for smartphones that come with 5000 mAh battery. So when you run out of juice, this charger can pretty much charge your phone real quick. Yeah, so get the smartphone with at least 5000 mAh battery or 18 watts fast charge or 30 watts fast charge. When it comes to the performance, things you actually consider are the processor, the RAM, and storage of the smartphone. I'm going to recommend you getting a smartphone with the latest chipset because the latest chipset is more efficient than the older chipset, right? And this applies mostly on a budget smartphone. So when you're trying to get a budget smartphone, make sure you get a budget smartphone that comes with the latest processor, right? And also, when you're watching a tech review video or when you're checking the spec of the smartphone that you want to buy, always pay attentive to the nanometer. According to research, the smaller the nanometer, the faster the processor will be. Now, when you're using like a mid-range smartphone or a high-end smartphone, get a smartphone with at least 4 nanometer bit on process, or for the mid-range, get at least 6 nanometer bit on process. This will actually help you to get the best performance of your smartphone. For budget users, you might actually get a smartphone with 12 nanometer bit on process. I mean, it is not that bad. And I've seen like budget smartphones that come with like 6 nanometer bit on process. But what is going to help you here is the RAM of your device and also the storage of your device. When you're getting a smartphone, I recommend you getting a smartphone with at least 8 gig RAM and 256 gig of internal storage or 128 gig of internal storage. So for those of you that are going to get a budget smartphone, regardless of the nanometer your smartphone comes with, always make sure that the RAM is at least 8 gig or 6 gig at minimum, and also 128 gig and 250 gig of storage. This will help in the smoothness of your smartphone, and also it's going to make your smartphone at least faster, right? So always pay attention to the processor, the RAM, and the storage. These three works in hand to give you the best performance of your smartphone. I hope you understand. So camera is one of the most important things to consider when trying to buy a smartphone. You're buying a smartphone without a good camera quality, I think you won't be able to enjoy your smartphone, right? So there are some things I actually want you to know about smartphone camera. Smartphone camera or the image quality of your smartphone cannot be determined by the megapixel. It cannot be determined by the 50 megapixel or 108 megapixel or anything like that. What can actually determine is crispy, sharp, and nice image quality from that smartphone camera is the camera sensor. So when you're looking out for a smartphone, look for a smartphone that comes with a better camera sensor. This camera sensor is going to help in producing high quality image or high quality video from the smartphone. Now, in as much as megapixel also plays a role, I'm going to recommend you getting a smartphone with at least 50 megapixel camera, and the selfie should be at least 13 megapixel camera. This is pretty much okay for a budget smartphone and also any other smartphone you're going to get this year, right? So make sure if you want to buy a smartphone, always look out for the processor, the image sensor, battery, the performance. Finally, you should consider the software of that smartphone. iOS and Android have their own pros and cons. Just choose the one that best fits your need. Also look out for phones with regular software updates to ensure you have the latest security patches and features. Why is it important to get a smartphone with the latest software update? This is going to help you to fix out some bugs on your smartphone and also keep your phone updated. Recently, some Android smartphones do come with at least 1 year software updates or 2 year software updates, which is pretty much cool, and it's going to help you use your phone for a long run or a certain period of time, right? And most importantly, make sure you get a smartphone. I mean, I'm going to recommend you getting a smartphone with at least Android 14 this year or Android 13. Anything lesser than that is a no-no for me this year. So yeah, this is all for me on the top 5 things you should consider when trying to get a smartphone. So I hope this video helps you anyways to get the best smartphone for yourself this year or any year you're going to watch this video. Please leave a comment in the comment section on what you think about this video, and if you have any questions, you can leave them also in the comment section. Please do not forget to support our YouTube channel by subscribing and also turning that notification bell on as we keep bringing out more content out there. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Peace.